Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're going to take a look at the price of Bitcoin. So we saw Bitcoin get as high as almost like 70k earlier today. Are we on our way up to higher prices? Now I know yesterday's live stream I was wondering if we were going to be in a going into a bull trap here, but it looks like Wall Street came in this morning and decided to buy Bitcoin and go risk on. Why is that? Why is that the case? Why did we decide to go risk on? I've been listening to some of the reports about, what's going on with the war in Iran, and it seems as though that they're getting a lot more done and a lot more accomplished sooner than they thought they were going to. I listened to the news earlier today, and they were saying that they did not expect to eliminate 48 or 49 Iranian leaders, including the Ayatollah himself. They did not think they were going to do that in the first day of this military operations that they're doing in Iran. And they thought that this was going to be that they were going to have to chase people down, that they would have to find where these leaders were. But I guess they took them all out in like a meeting that they had on Saturday morning, and it's starting to lead us to believe that this military operation in Iran might be shorter. It might be coming to an end soon, and I think the markets are trying to front run that there might be some good news here. Now we still see the price of oil. The price of oil is still climbing up. It had a pretty decent run last night. I think we saw oil get as high as like what, $75 on the exchange. Let me just take a look. Yeah, we got up to like $75 on oil. Okay, and in gold and silver we're doing pretty well last night as well. But then I guess Wall Street digested the information, and they decided to sell risk off, which would be like gold and silver, and they decided to go into risk on, which is like buying stocks and crypto. So like, I was a little bit wrong to be shorting Bitcoin and also to be long in silver. I mean, I was right last night about being long on silver, but this morning the Wall Street decided to sell off their silver and their gold and get into buying stocks at this point. And I think some good stocks to get into would be the oil stocks, right? Because oil is still going up as we speak right now. We can take a look at the price of oil if you guys want to take a look at that, but I know we usually start by looking at Bitcoin, and I'm going to get into your requests for whatever assets you guys want to take a look at. I see that we have Yahusha here asking about XRP. I'll write that down as one of the requests here. Thank you for that request. If you guys have any requests, just let me know. I see we have Yahusha saying XRP and what, XDC? Okay, I got you on those. And then DZ wants to take a look at VVV and THQ and Bonk. Oh my God, you gotta give me a whole bunch to look at there. I'll write down maybe a couple, and then maybe I'll give you one bonus one. All right, so we'll take a look at VVV, because I know that one's been making the news rounds here in cryptocurrency world. And then I'll take a look at THQ, and then maybe I'll do Bonk as a bonus. But if I got someone else that wants to take a look at something else, I might have to I might have to save Bonk for later. Okay. But yeah, let me just catch up on the chat real quick here on TikTok. Make sure I answered your questions here. Thank you guys for following me here on TikTok. I appreciate that. And yeah, let me just make sure I'm not missing any comments or requests here. Yahusha says best coin to buy. I'm gonna ask DZ, what coin do you think we should be buying right now? But I think we'll have to take a look at the charts here and see which coins we want to get into. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these cryptos are up, so I'm not sure if best coin to buy right now might be something that might be down, not already up. Okay, let's get into this analysis here on Bitcoin. You see that Bitcoin is currently trading at 69,300. I'm just going to turn the music down a little bit on my end. Bitcoin up $3,500 from where it was earlier yesterday, and up 5.39% today. We do see that here on the 1 hour chart. Okay, if I zoom out here, you know, Bitcoin, it had a few things that it could have done here. It could have you know, broke down to the bottom of this pennant, which I thought was going to happen today, but that didn't happen. We actually broke out to the upside here out of this pennant, and we made a higher high than, I think, you know, a higher high than what we did here last week. We got up to $70,000 and just $70,020 here on Coinbase Exchange last Wednesday. Today we got up to like 70,128, so we actually, you know, barely got above the highs from last week. And I think this might have been a little bit of a short squeeze. I know I was shorting Bitcoin myself. I got stopped out. I think I like $67,000 is where I got stopped out at. But let's see what the signals here is. I'm actually using a new indicator here, guys, that you might want to take a look and check out yourself. I'm using this DeluxeAlgo indicator that's telling us when to go long and short. It gives you the signals here. You know, it makes things easier. It's like kind of like a cheat sheet. And you know, on the 1 hour time frame, this indicator was telling us to go long here at 10 o'clock last night. Okay, 10 o'clock in East Coast time here. I'm in the East Coast. Okay, it was telling you to long Bitcoin there. Okay, however, it did say that, you know, we could possibly short Bitcoin at 6 a.m. But then I guess it changed its mind. It changed its mind here after we started getting this green candle here at 9 a.m. It was like, all right, time to long Bitcoin. And so far, we do not have any signal here saying that we should short Bitcoin. So I think if you want to continue long in Bitcoin, if you're already in the long, you can continue to stay in that long. Now, how much higher could Bitcoin go? This indicator, it gives you a long and a short, but it doesn't give you like a take profit target, right? I think take profit, you can just look at previous price action and see what we did here. You know, on Wednesday we did have a Bitcoin as high as 70K here last Wednesday. That right now, that could be a take profit target if you're still in your long here on Bitcoin. But let's see, another take profit target. We could probably target all the highs back here on Bitcoin. Like we saw Bitcoin as high as 70,800 on February 15th, and also. See, you could probably maybe see if that Bitcoin actually reaches the 72K level, okay, that we saw back here on February 8th. All right, that's what I would do if I was like in a long right now on Bitcoin. I'm not in a long on Bitcoin, so I can't, you know, take advantage of the fact that, you know, Bitcoin might climb up here. But I just don't know how much more upside there is on Bitcoin, because right now it says the previous highs here is like 70K and 72K. I think those are probably take profit target 1 and take profit target 2 if you're going to be long in Bitcoin. But I'm just worried that you know, we might actually come back down, right, and actually retest the pennant here. Maybe retest the 67K level, which was a very important level that we had to break past, and we did that. We did that this morning, right? We got above 67K. But I think if Bitcoin does sell off here, we could come down, retest 67K, make a higher low, and then start going up to higher prices here. I think to be starting a new long on Bitcoin right now is not the best idea, but I mean, you could probably still squeeze out some money if we're able to make it up to 72K. Let me zoom out here. Let's go into the daily time frame here and try to get a bigger picture view of Bitcoin here. If Bitcoin was to start, you know, a rally, right, and get itself out of the 60K area here and actually start going into 70K or 80K, I think we should see some resistance here at 78K, okay, which is where we were trading sideways here back in the beginning of February. Okay, that's not the strongest resistance area, but it is an area that we could take some profit if we're going to be long in Bitcoin for the long term here, or at least for like a swing trade later on this month. All the targets to be looking for that I think be a little bit more prudent to actually, you know, sell your Bitcoin and maybe take profit on your day trades, your leverage trades, would be if Bitcoin gets up to 84K. That was a previous support area. that is now going to possibly be resistance for now. Okay, if we ever get back up to that area. And then of course the other area to be looking out for to the upside is 87,500. That's going to be another resistance area that acted as support back here in December going into like January. Okay, where we were kind of like trading sideways there. I think 84K and 87K are your upside targets if Bitcoin is going to pull itself, you know, to higher prices here. If we're going to pull ourselves together and actually go up to higher prices, I think those are your targets for now. Okay, but after that, I mean, I think you're pushing your luck if Bitcoin goes past 87K. I don't know if it's going to get past 87K because like now you have to think about this for a second. Anybody who bought Bitcoin in December of last year, in January earlier this year, they're underwater right now on their Bitcoin investment. Okay, and if we get back up to 87K, you have to think about it for a second. They might want to just break even and call it a day because they might not be fully convinced that Bitcoin's going to go to 100K or higher. Okay, so I think 87K, there's going to be a lot of resistance at that area. Okay, I got that marked on the chart here, 87,500 and also 84,500. Those are your upside targets for Bitcoin. Downside targets, I still think Bitcoin could possibly get support off 63K, which we've seen happen here a couple of days over the past week. And if Bitcoin is not able to stay above 63K, then this is when things get dicey, and we might see Bitcoin come down to 52K or 51,900 is what I got highlighted here. And I didn't just pull this out of my ass. This is previous price support action here. Back in February of 2024, Bitcoin was trading at 51,900 or 52K. That's going to be your support area for Bitcoin if we do go down to those prices. Okay, so that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. We can always talk about Bitcoin again later and maybe get into smaller time frames, but I do got some requests to go through here, and I got to catch up on the chat, see what else you guys have said here. Let's see, on TikTok, I am doing a TikTok and a YouTube live stream at the same time here, so you just bear with me, guys. We got Elvis is asking, that's a nice name. Elvis is asking, can Bitcoin go lower? It possibly could, right? However, what just happened here? We broke out of this pennant to the upside, all right? And this was a pennant or potential bear flag. Now, this potential bear flag, it could still be in play. Like, we still have not made a higher high than what we did here on February 15th. So if we're still making lower highs and we're not able to get above the highs here in the middle of February, in the beginning of February, then guess what? We're probably gonna roll over, come down to lower prices here, and we might see Bitcoin revisit maybe 63K one more time. Maybe we actually break the pennant to the downside and actually come down to like 60K here. But yeah, this pennant, I don't know if it's no longer. I'm gonna keep this pennant around just to see if we actually come and do a back test and get a back test off of 67K or maybe 66K. But yeah, if this you know, if Bitcoin ends up rolling down and goes below this pennant, then you know we know that this was still a bear flag and that Bitcoin's gonna probably go down to lower prices here. And that all depends on if we're gonna get another lower high compared to the highs that we did here in the middle of February and the beginning of February. So we're still on lower high watch. Okay, we're gonna see if Bitcoin can actually get up to 72K and go higher than that. If not, then yeah, Bitcoin's probably gonna go lower prices if it can't sustain itself above 72K. Or at least that's my opinion. You tell me if you think I might be wrong or not. Al Sinja says, what is the take profit for a short? So if you want to short Bitcoin, right? I mean, let's see. This indicator that I got, DeluxeAlgo, was telling us to short Bitcoin on Saturday. Okay. But I think the data needs to be digested here a little bit more. It probably might tell us to go long Bitcoin, but if you know, if you were to enter a short, if Bitcoin does roll over, right? I mean, this might be a really good area to try to short Bitcoin at 69K or 70K. If you're gonna try to do that, then I mean, how would you game plan this out, right? If you're going to try to short Bitcoin, I'm not saying that you should do it right now, but if you wanted to short Bitcoin right now for your, for whatever reason that you want to short Bitcoin, then I think you'd probably take this down to like what we did here on February 24th when we got as low as like 62,500. Now, granted, now remember this pennant could still be in play. Like we could get like a little fake out here and come down to lower prices, and then we might respect this uptrend, this yellow line here. So maybe we don't go down to 62,500. I'm thinking we still respect this uptrend, and maybe you might see a Bitcoin come down to 63,700. See that number right there, that green number right there? That would still be a higher low than what we did here on Saturday, and it would still be respecting this uptrend here. So I think, if you want to try to short Bitcoin right now, you could try to do a take profit target at 63,700, see if that hits. But I would, if I was to enter a short, I would actually take partial profit at 67K, because you just don't know. Like we could make a higher low at 67K and then go up to higher prices. Okay, but if we break below 67K, then yeah, we could probably come down, maybe take some more partial profit at the lows of these candle wicks here on the daily time frame at like 65K. So maybe you take partial profit at 67K, partial profit at 65K, and then 63,700 is where I would take the full profit. And I think that should be enough to make some money, right? Shorting Bitcoin from 69K all the way down to like 64K. I think that should be enough for a short. Now, where would you put your stop loss on the short? I'd probably put the stop loss like right above the high for today, right? We got up to like 70K, 70,100. So you put your stop loss at 71,150 maybe. And right now, this is saying that the risk-reward ratio on that is 7.43. So that's a really good risk-reward ratio. Anything more than 3 is good enough for me for entertaining the idea of getting into a short. But I don't know. I think I gave you enough right there. We could always analyze this again to see what the trend might be for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin might actually continue being strong and just blow past your stop loss here at $70,000 and continue on to like 71, 72K. So we shall see. Let me get over to talking about XRP, because we did have a request for XRP here. Where is XRP? I know we got it in my watch list here. We're now looking at XRP, currently trading at $1.39, up 2.88% today. And XRP, I mean, not having as spectacular of a day as I believe Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's up 5%, Ethereum's up 5%, Solana's up 4.5%, but XRP is only up 2.8%. I have done previous chart work on XRP. XRP was in a descending channel for a while here, and then it broke out of the channel just by going sideways. We had a pretty good day here on February 15th where XRP got up to $1.67, but that was it. That was it for XRP. And then now XRP is just trading pretty much sideways at $1.40 here. Okay. We don't have any signals here with the DeluxeAlgo. The DeluxeAlgo is saying that we could have gone long XRP on February 9th. And you would have got XRP at $1.37 at the lowest price. But like, yeah, XRP is not really doing too much on the charts here. Let me see what the momentum indicator is doing here. Let's look at the MACD on XRP. XRP does have buying pressure here on the daily time frame. It's just the buying pressure is just not strong enough to push us up to higher prices. However, I guess the buying pressure is strong enough to keep us from going down to lower prices here. XRP is just trading sideways and being boring. As far as I'm seeing it on the charts here. Okay. Let's look at money flow. See if there's any money going into XRP. Alright, and I'm seeing money flow. You can see this red or magenta area. Some people might call it purple. Whatever color you want to call it. This is negative money flow. And it's still negative. We haven't seen any green money flow, which would mean money is going into XRP. You haven't seen any green money flow since like November of last year. So money's been leaving XRP like the last, what, 3 to 4 months now. And money flow was at its worst back here in the middle of February. However, money flow is starting to go up, so maybe you might start seeing XRP creep up to higher prices here, but it's just, it's not fast and vigorous. Like, let me show you what it looks like here for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is probably negative, but probably not as negative as XRP is right now. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Yeah, so Bitcoin is also negative in the money flow as well. Okay, but Bitcoin has seen some green, right? It's seen green here in January, unlike XRP. So I think your best bet is to actually be in Bitcoin at this point. Like, why would you be in XRP? I don't know. You tell me. I know people have their reasons to be in XRP, but in a bear market, I think we're all learning, if we haven't learned already, that the best place to be is Bitcoin in a bear market, because Bitcoin will climb up before the other cryptocurrencies do, and Bitcoin doesn't go down as hard and fast as some of these altcoins. And XRP is an altcoin, even though some people think XRP is going to replace Bitcoin at one point. No, XRP, it's lackluster. It's terrible. It's the performance is not that good compared to Bitcoin. So there you go. Upside, downside targets for XRP. Let's look at the VRVP indicator real quick here. If I turn that on, you do have some potential resistance here at $1.58, $1.60, and then you also have some more resistance here at $1.86. Okay, so I would mark that on the chart there for, you know, take profit target 1 going to be like $1.58, $1.59, and take profit target 2 is going to be like $1.86. And then to the downside, yeah, XRP could revisit the $1.11 area, which we've already seen back here in February. We could come down to $1.11 one more time here. So I would mark that down on your chart for a downside target. If you're interested in shorting XRP, I would take profit at $1.11. All right, let's see. We got Edible Zombies in the chat here. It says cross-border payments and speed. All right, yeah, that's one reason why people get into XRP. But as an investment, I still think Bitcoin's a better investment right now. But we shall see. We shall see. I think it's safer to be in Bitcoin right now until we know that we're going back into a bull market again. But if you want to put your money to work in the XRP, I mean, by all means do so. I'm not a financial advisor. You can do whatever you want with your money. I would just, me personally, I would stick to Bitcoin during a bear market until I know that, you know, we're done going down. Because we can still possibly go down to lower prices on Bitcoin and XRP. And I think XRP will fall down harder and faster than Bitcoin will. All right, we're gonna take a look at we'll take a look at VVV for my buddy DZ over here, and then I guess we gotta take a look at XDC, and then I think we can take a look at THQ after that. Darvin says, look at XRP dominance and Bitcoin dominance. I'm pretty sure Bitcoin dominance has been climbing up. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance is at 59%. I don't know what XRP's dominance is at, but I'm pretty sure that Bitcoin is holding on to its dominance better than XRP is. Let's see, on the daily time frame, I'm gonna get rid of the long and short indicator here, and I'll also get rid of the VRVP. But I mean, Bitcoin dominance not as strong as it was back here in October, November of last year. But I think Bitcoin dominance, we will see Bitcoin dominance climb up, especially if Bitcoin goes down to lower prices and crypto goes down to lower prices. We'll see Bitcoin dominance for sure probably climb up to like back to 60%, like we saw it back here in the beginning of February. But I'm not sure how much you want to cover Bitcoin dominance. I do want to take a look at some other cryptos here. Let's take a look at the VVVV. What was it? Triple V. USD. Venice token. Currently trading on Coinbase. Do I want to look at Coinbase though? Let's see. We got Venice token. I think there might be more data for it on here on MEXC exchange. Venice token. Currently trading at $8, up 26% today. I think it was higher than that earlier today. Yeah, we got up to like $8.41 here on BVV. And wow, okay, yeah, it's been having a pretty good week so far. Looks like it was creating like a bull flag or bullishly consolidating, and then it got another impulse move to the upside here. What can I do with this? Let's see. Let's zoom out here. Let's just look left here for a little bit. Is there any potential resistance on VVV if we do continue going up to higher prices? I do see a high here in February. February of 2025. We got as high as $8.94. So I'll probably mark down the chart here. You know, that is a previous high that we have to get past at some point here. So I would, you know, just mark down the chart here, $8.94. Because I do believe that if we get up to that level again, we will probably get rejected off of $8.94. Okay, on VVV, at least initially, and then we'll see if we push our way past that $8.93, 94 cent area. Let me see this. $8.94 was the actual number that I want here. Can I get to $8.94? Can I? I gotta be careful with this. You know what? That's fine enough. Whatever. I can fix it later. But yeah, $8.93, $8.94 is an area that you want to possibly take some profit on this. Now let's see. I'm gonna do a Fibonacci on VVV. I'm gonna measure from this swing low here to swing high, and we'll see what there's any fib extension levels to look for here. So measuring from like up here on the swing high down to the swing low at like $1.59. We've already went past the 1618 at $7.07 here. And the next level to the upside is the 2618 at $10.46. So I don't know if you want to mark that on the chart, but I believe that should be another level where we could get rejected if we continue going up to higher prices on VVV here. So I would look for those levels, $8.93 and then $10.48 for your upside targets on VVV. Now, is VVV going to continue going up to higher prices here? Does it have the momentum to sustain itself at these prices? Let's look at the MACD indicator here. Buying pressure looks pretty strong to me, and your blue line is above the orange line and climbing up to higher levels here. So I don't see anything that would cause me to be worried about VVV, at least on the daily time frame. When you see this blue line start to curve back down again, that's when you know, like, hey, it might be time to take profit on VVV. It might be time to maybe entertain the idea of doing a short. Okay, because like you'll see something like this where the blue line starts curving down, and then if it continues curving down, you'll get a cross. You'll get a MACD crossover to the downside, and then you'll start seeing selling pressure showing up, like we saw back here in January. Okay, in the middle of January, end of January. So you got to be on the lookout for that, right? Like back here, you know, the hint from the MACD crossover was telling you to sell on January 18th. And you would have avoided all this mess where this thing just kept going down to lower prices here. Okay, so you don't have that yet. So, you know, things we might see higher prices here for VVV. Okay, just looking at the momentum on the MACD indicator. I see we got Laureen in the chat. Good to see you, Laureen. Laureen is sending me some hearts here. Appreciate that, Laureen. Thank you for the hearts, and thank you for smashing the like button, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. For my TikTok guys, all you gotta do is double tap your phone to send the to send the like here. And thank you for following me here. Thank you, Dami, for following me here on TikTok. Guys, if you go onto the top left side where you see my profile picture of me in the red shirt, click on that profile picture, and then you can follow me here on TikTok. You'll get the actual Meet Damien. You got to be careful because there are some fake Meet Damiens out there trying to pretend to be me and scam my followers here. So watch out for that. I will never message you guys because I got so much to do on a day-to-day basis. It's hard for me to keep up with all my emails and messages. Usually people have to message me first to get my attention, so I will not message you. And if you do see someone named Meet Damien message you, it probably is a fake Meet Damien trying to get your attention and do something bad. So Yeah. I usually do respond back to people that message me. So actually, I respond back to everybody that messages me for the most part, unless you're trying to be annoying or you're trying to sell me something and I don't want to buy it. So yeah, I usually respond back to messages. So you guys have to message me first here, and then I will try to respond back. So that's how you know you got the actual Meet Damien. You just click on the top left picture here. You can see me on the live streams. We talk about crypto. We talk about stocks and commodities like oil and silver and gold. We talk about all of it here on the Meet Damien community. So yeah, definitely worth following if you haven't done so already. Alright, let's see. Michael Jug says, guys, let's do a Telegram channel and help. Alright, so actually, Michael, I have a Discord channel. I do have a Meet Damien Discord channel, so let me just give a shout out to myself in the Discord channel. If you go to my TikTok profile, right? You'll see in the bio there's a link tree here. You click on that link tree, and it will take you over to the link tree. And there will be a Meet Damien Discord server for you to join. You click on that, and it will take you over to the Meet Damien Discord, where you can, it's free to join. And you'll see when I go live. I post up when I plan on going live, and you can talk to other day traders here, other investors that are in the markets, and we share our opinions, and we continue our best to look out for each other and try to find out what the best investments and trades might be. Okay, so yeah, you can come join the Meet Damien Discord. All right, I got one of those. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the charts here. Lorraine says, did I look at gold? No, I have not looked at gold yet, Lorraine, but I can do that for you. Is that a request for gold, Lorraine? Just let me know if you want me to look at gold. I just wrote it down just in case. We do gotta look at XDC and then THQ after this, and then I think we gotta take a look at Bonk and then gold. All right, so Lorraine does want to take a look at the price of gold. I think I was gonna look at the price of gold anyways because I think I put that as like the title of the video for my YouTube live stream. That we were gonna look at the price of gold. Or that was going to be one of the things that we're going to look at. Yeah. Let's see. What says there was a Meet Damien with the same profile pic and loads of followers that message you. Yeah, don't watch out for that. I don't message people unless they message me first. So, if you got another Meet Damien out there messaging you and trying to sell you something, just block them, I guess, or don't respond back. And yeah, there are some Meet Damiens out there with a bunch of followers because they've been trying to, they've been trying to scoop up my followers over the past couple of years, and they've been trying to, scam people, I guess. So it's just unfortunate, but yeah, this is the real Meet Damien right here, talking to you guys. Let me just flip the camera so you know you got me right here. Yep, that's me, see? I am the real Meet Damien. Alright. There you go. Alright, back to the chats. Let's take a look at XDC, and then we'll take a look at THQ and then gold. XDC on Bitfinex. Okay. XDC. Currently trading at 2.9. I'm sorry, not 3 cents, 0.033 pennies, up 2.94%. And what do we have here? Ugh. Looks like an ugly chart to me, to be honest with you. You've been in a downtrend and just making lower lows and lower highs since July of last year. Is the bleeding going to come to a stop? Is it going to come to an end here? Looks like you bottom out possibly here in the beginning of February. This thing got as low as like 0.0298 pennies here. Somewhere around that area. Do we have any bullish divergence showing that we might be bottoming out here? Let's look at the the RSI indicator here. So this is the RSI, this red line right here. I did see we make a lower low. We made a lower low here, and then since then we just out of nowhere we just climbed up to higher levels here on the RSI. I mean, this technically is a higher low than what you did here in the beginning of February. However, I just don't like the trend. The trend is still downward. You're making lower lows. Even you're kind of like flagging out on the RSI here. I wouldn't really say that this is potential bottoming out. I think what's going to end up happening here with XDC is we might just continue coming down to 0.029, you know, basically 3 penny level here. We might make a double bottom and then we come out. And if you see that happen here, then this will let you know that you actually did bottom out. I mean, it literally has bottom in the name, double bottom. Okay. That could be what ends up happening here for XDC. Alright. We could actually go lower though. We might actually go lower than that, right? Let me just get rid of this. Where, you know, XDC might actually go down and make a lower low than what we did here in February. And if it does make a lower low, then we're going to go back and try to see what the RSI is doing here. If the RSI is still making higher lows after making a lower low on XDC, then that's going to indicate bullish divergence, that more bulls are stepping up to the plate here at lower prices. So I just think it might be a little bit too early to try to long XDC. Like, you could try to long it here, and maybe we never do go to lower prices. Maybe XDC actually just goes up to higher prices from where we are right now. Okay, and then that would be great. That'd be great. Then you know, if this is the lowest, you know, if this is a potential higher low and we actually go up to higher prices, then yeah, you know that, you know, we bottom out and we're getting ourselves out of here. But I just think, you know, the way this thing is trending down, like, I don't know what happened here. Actually, I kind of do know what happened. I think this is when Bitcoin dropped down to 60K and was scaring the crap out of people. But I mean, if you could just ignore this and pretend this didn't happen, I mean, this is still a downtrend on XDC. You're still in a downtrend, and I think this thing is until you start to see either like maybe a double bottom or a higher low, or if this thing does make a lower low, if you get some bullish divergence, then you know that, all right, there might be a potential bottoming out action going on here. But I don't think you're getting that just yet here in XDC. I think it's too early to tell, but if you want to go ahead and throw your hat in the ring, I mean, sure, you could throw maybe a small position, but I think, you know, if we go back to 3 cents, you could probably add more to your spot bags here in XDC. And if it does go lower to like 2.5 cents, then maybe you could dollar cost average and get in, you know, below 3 pennies here. All right. But yeah, if you're anxious to get in now, I mean, you could try to get in now. I would just get in now with very low conviction that you're getting the lowest price, because you might actually go down to lower prices here. Let me see the momentum. What is the momentum doing here on the MACD? Yeah, momentum is showing that buying pressure is dying down, and you're starting to get a little bit of selling pressure going on right now, and you're starting to do like a MACD crossover to the downside. So I think we could see lower prices here for XDC just to sum things up here. Okay, so I'll be on the lookout for that. You might see lower prices for XDC. All right, moving on from XDC, we'll take a look at THQ and then gold. Movie edit says Bitcoin analysis. Yeah, we'll take a look at Bitcoin again. We'll take a look at Bitcoin again after I look at gold. And let me just see what my YouTube guys are saying here. Yeah, Edible Zombie wants to look at Bitcoin as well. Yeah, so we did look at Bitcoin earlier in the live stream, and I'll go ahead and take a look at it again for you guys. We looked at Bitcoin in the larger time frames, but I think when we go back and look at it again, we'll look at it on the smaller time frame to try to figure out if Bitcoin's actually going to go up or down later on tonight for the day traders. All right, moving on from XDC, we'll take a look at THQ, and then we'll take a look at gold and Bitcoin. THQ. I don't know. I don't like this data here that we're getting off of Kraken. Let's see if there's another. Let's see MEXC exchange. Let's see if they've got better data here. All right, and then we got to get into the daily time frame. THQ currently trading at 0.028 pennies, down 1% today. I mean, this kind of looks similar to the one that we just looked at, XDC. You're clearly in a downtrend. Every now and then you get a little spike up to the out of nowhere to like high prices. Like what the hell is this all about here? What, last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, we went as high as like 0.037 pennies, but we couldn't even stay above there before we closed above. Like, what is this all about? Like a little scam wick to the upside, a little bit of a short squeeze, but like you couldn't even capitalize on that before you ended up closing right back to like where you were at like 3 pennies here. Weird. Let's look at the moving averages on this one. 21 EMA. This white line here. It's gonna be a problem until it's no longer a problem. Right now, it kind of looks like you're getting support off the 21 EMA. This white line here. That's interesting. Okay, because we do know that the 21 EMA has been acting like a problem here. We couldn't stay above it. And the end of January here, we tried to get above it here in at the beginning of January 7th here, but then we immediately lost it. So like, what the hell's all that about, right? How brand new is this thing? Oh my God, is this? How much more data do we got here? Oh, what the hell is this? What is this, DZ? On December, this thing started trading on MEXC and immediately came down to lower prices here. And yeah, then we bottom out here at like 3.5 pennies here. This is just weird looking chart here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Did not want to do that. But yeah, we don't really have that many moving averages besides the 21 EMA. And this 21 EMA, I think, is going to act as resistance until it no longer does. Right now, it looks like it's trying to act as support. We shall see if it continues acting as support. Because if this is going to continue acting as support, this might be it, where THQ might be ready to go to higher prices here. And if THQ does go to higher prices, where could we go? Let's look at the VRVP indicator here real quick. We got a POC, high volume node here at basically where we're at 0.029 pennies here. And then yeah, the reason why we can spike up to higher prices out of nowhere like we did here on Friday, February 20th, is because there is no resistance. There's really no resistance until you get this high volume node here, this value area high sitting at 0.038 pennies. So is that what you're trying to do here, DZ? Are you just, I mean, there's a potential where you could buy now and take profit at 0.038 pennies. I'm not sure how much of a percentage gain that is. Let's take a look at that. How much of a percentage gain could you get out of this thing? Going up to 0.038 pennies, you'd be up 32%. And then where would you put your stop loss? Probably below the low here on the 24th of February at 0.026 pennies. Okay. And if you really want to stay in the trade, if you're willing to risk a little bit more, you could probably put your stop loss below the low on February 6th when we did go down to like 0.024 pennies. So that's an idea here. So like you're risking that, either this or this for stop loss, and you're gonna take profit at 0.038 pennies for the most part. That's how I would try to play this thing for a long here. All right, moving on from THQ. Well, we're gonna take a look at gold and then Bitcoin. All right, gold currently trading at $5,325. It's actually up a little bit today, almost 1%, up $46 from where it was yesterday. Let's see. We did get up as high as $5,400 here, $5,419 here on gold. I think gold is steadily trying to climb its way up. We got above. Yeah, let me get rid of this VRVP indicator. But we did get above the 786 retracement at 5,225. You can see that we came up to it. We butt up our head. We rejected it initially. Then we climbed back up, and then here on Friday we pushed above it. And we're getting a little bit of follow through here on Monday. I think gold might be on its way up to the all-time high of 5,598. So you might get a little bit more room to the upside here on gold. Let's see, if we were to climb up to all-time highs right now, it's about a 5% move up in price. Really nothing to write home to mom about, but I mean, if you're a leverage trader, day trader, you could probably slap on like 10x leverage, it'd be up 50%. Slap on 20x leverage on that, and it'd be up 100%. You'd be able to double your money on your day trade there. So I'd probably be looking for like a 10x long or 20x long here on gold. And try to see if we get back up to this all-time high again and take profit there. Now, if gold doesn't actually go up to higher prices here, we'll probably come and revisit this 786 retracement at 5,225. And then maybe continue rolling down to the 618 golden pocket here at 4,930 and 4,991. That's your golden pocket numbers right there. And then you also got the 21 EMA right above the golden pocket. That's sitting at 5,029. So there is some support. I think gold should continue getting support at $5,000 here. But yeah, I don't know what you want to do, Lorene, as far as day trade this or invest it. But I'd probably put the stop loss below. Well, I mean, if you're day trading it, you probably want to put your stop loss really tight, maybe below the last candle wick low here, right over here, maybe at like $5,000, $5,090 maybe. Let's see, does gold have the momentum to continue going up to higher prices? On the MACD indicator, selling pressure is dying off and you're getting buying pressure coming in. You got a MACD crossover to the upside. I do think gold wants to climb up to all-time highs again. Just looking at the MACD indicator. And then let's see what money flow looks like here. Using the DeluxeAlgo indicator here. We do have money flow is still in the green. You got a red sell dot here on Thursday, February 12th. Then you got a green buy dot here. Kind of a little bit hard to see. It's kind of blending in here. But you did get a buy dot here, saying that you could be buying gold on February 19th and you'll be good. And there's still no red sell dot. However, you are getting into overbought area. The overbought area is like in between 60 and 80 here. It's kind of like an RSI indicator. You are starting to get overbought here on gold. So we'll see how we handle ourselves going up to all-time highs on gold. But I think gold can go up to all-time highs. It does have the momentum to do it. We'll just have to see over the next week or two. I think you know, if you want to do a little bit of trend analysis here, if we're able to maintain this uptrend here on gold, I gotta adjust this a little bit more. Maybe we hit all-time highs again on the middle of March, either Thursday, March 12th, or Friday the 13th. It's showing that if we continue this uptrend here, and we don't do anything crazy where we, you know, lose the uptrend, then we should be able to march our way up to all-time highs by the middle of March. Maybe sometime next week, towards the end of next week. So there you go. That's what I see there for the price of gold. Let's see. Cameron says, you think it's worth jumping in a buy before market close if it drops below $5,300? We're still talking about gold here. Do I think it's worth jumping into a buy? Well, now you're asking for like day trading time frames. So let's get into the 1 hour chart here for gold and see. I'm gonna turn on my little cheat sheet indicator here, which tells me whether we should long or short gold. And this is the DeluxeAlgo indicator here. and it's telling me that, yeah, we should have long gold here Sunday night. And you're not getting any short indicator here. You're not getting any indicator saying that we're gonna that we should short Bitcoin. I mean, a short gold here. I think you could try to play the uptrend that I just drew here, right? This yellow line. Let me get rid of the moving averages here. But if we maintain this uptrend line here, I think if we're gonna maintain it, yeah, you could probably buy gold at like just below $5,300. And what? Where would you put your stop loss? Probably below the low here at 5,260, like we saw earlier this morning. That's if you want to keep it really tight. Maybe you want to put your stop loss below previous support here. Maybe below one of these candle wick lows here at 5,120. Okay. But whatever you decide to do, yeah, I think you could probably try to buy, you know, gold if you're able to at like below 5,300. Let's see. Do we have momentum indicators here saying that we're going to go down to lower prices here? Oh, actually, look at the MACD on the 1 hour time frame. We had selling pressure here, but selling pressure is starting to die off. But as selling pressure is starting to die off, we could continue going up down the lower prices. We could, you know, go down to 5,300 or lower. So yeah, I'd say it's worth taking a shot if that's what you want to do. Not financial advice. You can do whatever you need to do with your own money here. But this DeluxeAlgo indicator here says that, you know, we should have long gold last night, and you don't have anything here saying that we are going to go to lower prices yet. You don't have like the short signal here, so I think you might be good. You might be good to maybe you could buy a little bit now if you're anxious to get in and you don't have any position in gold, and maybe buy some more when we go below $5,300. You could try to buy some more gold at that, you know, at lower prices here if you're lucky enough to do that. Let's see. Cryptito says, "Yo, good afternoon." Good afternoon to you as well. And thank you, Charlie, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. All right, we got to take a look at the price of Bitcoin now. We'll look at Bitcoin on the 1 hour day trading time frame here. So we're now looking at Bitcoin currently trading at 69,474. And my DeluxeAlgo here indicator says that we should have long Bitcoin earlier this morning at 10 a.m. or around like 9 or 10 a.m. here. And you do not have a short signal yet here. So I think gold, I mean, I get mixed up with gold and Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin wants to go to higher prices here, according to just looking at the DeluxeAlgo indicator here. And I can show you guys where you can get this indicator. You have to pay for it though if you want to get this indicator that tells you when the long and short here. But I do have that indicator if you do want to use the DeluxeAlgo indicator, and you get two of them, right? There's not just that one, there's also the money flow indicator here, all right, which shows you the money flow and the buy dot and sell dots here. You got the green buy dot and the red sell dot. You can use these indicators here. First, you would have to go to the Meet Damien bio on TikTok, right? You go here to Linktree, click on the Linktree link in my bio here on TikTok, and then move on from there to the Meet Damien Linktree, and then you got this site here, DeluxeAlgo Trade. Okay, you click on that link, and you can get started trading using these indicators here with DeluxeAlgo. Okay, right now usually they charge $200 for this, but if you're doing it through this link that I got, you save 75% off of that, and it's $50 a month to get access to these indicators here. And you got the money flow and momentum indicators with divergence. Okay, and you can play around with the indicators and turn things on and off, and based on whatever you need to do. Okay. But yeah, this is where you get started using these indicators. Well, my little cheat sheet, right? Tells me when to go long and when to short. Like if I'm having trouble figuring out if I want a long or short, it gives me the signal here. Okay. So, you know, you guys can either do that or you can come onto my live streams to figure out when the long and short. But if you want that indicator for yourself, you know, you can go on to the Meet Damien link tree. And for my YouTube guys, there should be a link to go on to Meet Damien, right? The link tree. If you go over here to, let's see, we gotta go onto the Meet Damien YouTube here. You got that link tree right there. But I think I also put the link in the description, right? You got the DeluxeAlgo trading indicator. You click on this link here, and that'll take you over there where you can actually purchase that indicator if you want to. Okay. All right, that's my shout out for that indicator there. All right, so back to Bitcoin. We're currently trading at $69,400. We have a long signal here saying that we should get into Bitcoin. Is that the case? Should we actually get into Bitcoin right now? Let's see what the momentum indicators are doing here on the MACD. We do have buying pressure here. Buying pressure is slowly dying off, but as it's slowly dying off, I mean, the price of Bitcoin can also creep up to higher prices here. So, I mean, Bitcoin, it could go up to higher prices later on tonight. And even though the buying pressure is dying down, it could just all of a sudden start increasing again. So that's another thing that we got to take into account here. But usually when buying pressure does die down, and if it continues dying down, you'll get a MACD crossover to the downside, and then you'll start seeing selling pressure coming in. Okay, so you got to be on the lookout for that. If you see the MACD crossover to the downside, I would take profit on your longs and maybe entertain the idea of getting into a short. Let's look at this on the 1 hour time frame here, just looking at previous price action. Had you look for that MACD crossover to the downside, right? You would have seen that Bitcoin was, you know, slowly bleeding off here on Saturday night and going down the lower prices here. So, you know, that MACD indicator, pretty useful. Okay, and the MACD indicator is free indicator. You can get this on TradingView, and I don't even think you need a TradingView subscription to get this this indicator here. So this is another useful indicator that I use to figure out, you know, our price is going to go up or are they going to go down? And I look at the 1 hour time frame to get ideas like what could happen in the next, you know, 6 to 12 hours, you know, which is usually a day trader, right? A day trader wakes up and they're most likely going to be trading all day for like the next 6 to 12 hours. So I like looking at the 1 hour time frame to figure out what's going to happen in the next 6 to 12 hours. And right now, I think Bitcoin could slowly creep up to higher prices, even though buying pressure is dying down right now. Okay, so yeah, we could see possibly 70K later on tonight. We saw 70K earlier this morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I think Bitcoin might continue creeping its way up to 70K. That's only about $500 from where we are right now, but I think it's possible here. So I would be interested in long in Bitcoin, but I'm not in a long on Bitcoin, and I'm not sure if I really want a long Bitcoin just to go up another $500 here. I don't think that's worth it. For me, if I wanted to take a trade on Bitcoin, I'm going to wait until I get one of these signals here saying it's time to short Bitcoin, and then I'm going to be trying to look to see if that's the case here by looking at the MACD indicator and seeing, you know, are we getting the MACD crossover to the downside? Is selling pressure starting to show up? If I start seeing this here, maybe later on tonight or going into tomorrow morning, and then I also get this indicator here saying that it's time to short, then I will probably take that short on Bitcoin. But right now is not the time to short, because there's a possibility that Bitcoin could go to higher prices and you just get stopped out. Charlie says, start a paper train today, but I don't understand a thing. Just bought gold, but I don't know why you did. Did I buy gold? I didn't buy gold. I was trying to long silver yesterday. And actually, I still am long in silver. Yeah. Sit NH says down or up. And then Mert says short on Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm not getting any signals saying that it's time to short Bitcoin, but you know, because I'm not in a long on Bitcoin, I'm not gonna just jump into a long, because I don't know, there might not be much juice left to squeeze. We might just go up to 70K and then we, you know, roll over and go down to low prices after that. So maybe if we go up to 70K and we go sideways and we're not really pushing up, I might take a short on Bitcoin later on tonight, if I'm inclined to do so. If I feel like, you know, I see the indicators that are going to say that. And if Bitcoin does roll over and go to low prices, you know, I think downside target, I think we could see 67K all over again, which would put us, you know, right where this downtrend line is. And, you know, if I zoom out here, we got this pennant, this little pennant here. We could try to retest the top of this pennant here at 67K. But one thing at a time here. Right now, I think Bitcoin is going to climb to higher prices, so I'm not really interested in shorting Bitcoin right now. I'm not interested in taking any trade because I'm not in a trade. I'm not in a long on Bitcoin. I'm not going to long it unless I feel like we're going to maybe go up to 72K. 72K, I did talk about that earlier on the last stream. Let me go up to the daily time frame here. But if Bitcoin is going to go up to higher prices here, we got to see if it can make it past 72K, which is what we did here on February 8th. I think that could be where, you know, shorts might start entering and people might take profit on their longs at 72K because we don't know if we're actually going to push past that level there. This is 72K could be where we get rejected. It's only a couple of $1,000s away from where we are right now, but I mean that you could buy Bitcoin right now and try to go to 72K. And if you did that, let's go into the 1 hour time frame one more time here. Let's say we wanted to target 72K for a long here on Bitcoin. Is it worth it? Where would you put the stop loss? I mean, it makes sense if you could keep its stop loss tight and put it below these 1 hour candle wick lows here. We got down like 68,585 here on about a couple hours ago, a few hours ago. So you could try to long and put your stop loss at maybe 68,500. And then your take profit's going to be 72K. Is it worth it? Barely. Barely. We have a risk reward ratio of 2.97. So you're risking 1.2% to try and get 3.8%. That is still a worthwhile trade to get into. Okay. So if you think Bitcoin is going to go to 72K or higher, it might make sense to long Bitcoin right now. It might make sense. It might be worth it. Maybe I might do that. I don't know. I would want to see if, you know, maybe we get maybe a couple of red candles. Maybe if we come down like 69K or lower, then I could, you know, get an even better, juicier risk reward ratio. Like if Bitcoin comes down to like, let's say $69,000, right? If we lose like another $300 here, then you're only risking like 0.7% to try and get 4.4%. And your risk reward ratio is 6.3. I would wait. I would wait for Bitcoin to come down to lower prices here. Get down to 69K. Put your stop loss at 68,500, and see if it plays out. You know, you might actually make some money. Right now, I would just wait. I would just wait. I wouldn't short Bitcoin and I wouldn't long it right now. I would just wait. Wait to try to see if I can get into a long at 69K. And put the stop loss at 68,500. Mert says, wait a bit. Yeah, that's what I would do right now. Sit and H says, maybe short right now. Yeah, I mean, it's a battle between the bulls and the bears. Peeps, the bears are going to say, time to short Bitcoin. Okay, the bulls are going to say, we can still long and possibly go to 72K here. Okay. My last signal here in the 1 hour time frame says that we should be still long in Bitcoin here. So I don't know if shorting it makes sense. And then, you know, on the MACD indicator here, yeah, buying pressure is starting to die down on Bitcoin, okay? But as the buying pressure is dying down, we can still see price go up as the buying pressure is dying down before eventually the price stops going up and then we get some selling pressure going on, okay? And then the other risk using the, you know, just using the MACD indicator to trade off of is that buying pressure could die down and then just start increasing again. So there's not like a one-all be-all indicator here. Like back here, you can see that, you know, buying pressure died down here Tuesday of last week, only for it to start increasing again, and then it started dying down again, and then it started increasing again. And that would frustrate the crap out of a bear that was trying to, you know, short Bitcoin. You know, this is what happened, you know, last week, where, you know, Bitcoin had buying pressure, died down, and then all of a sudden it increased again. Died down, started increasing again, and making new highs and squeezing out a bunch of shorts. So I'm wary of that. I'm worried about that being a possibility here. And that's why I think, you know, using these DeluxeAlgo indicators is going to be helpful, because, you know, you might be like, might be time to short Bitcoin. Really? Well, we don't have the signal yet. The signal's right here. Was telling us to short Bitcoin earlier this morning, until we, out of nowhere, Wall Street decided to buy Bitcoin and send us up to like higher prices here. So that just blew out whatever potential short that would have been. Okay. But I'm waiting for like one of these signals here where it tells you to short, right? Short Bitcoin on a 1 hour time frame. Okay. Yeah, okay, maybe you get a long signal that says, you know, time to long Bitcoin, right? But then, you know, you could also see the price come back down below where it said longing, okay? So, but here you got another signal here telling you to short Bitcoin, and yeah, had you listened to that signal there, you would have made some money until it told you to long it again right here. This is probably when you would take profit on your short, as the price was going back up again. But then look at this, yeah, boom, we came down. All right, so I think, let's see, let's look at the 50-minute time frame, see if there's any signals here from DeluxeAlgo. And the DeluxeAlgo here on the 50-minute time frame says, you know, long Bitcoin this morning, and then it says you could have shorted earlier this afternoon. However, it then changed its mind and said, nope, it's time to long Bitcoin again. So I get it. You know, we got a battle between the bulls and the bears. The bulls want a long, the bears want a short. And right now we're just getting a flag right now. We're flagging out, we're bullishly consolidating. But I feel like because we're bullishly consolidating, we could get one more leg up here on Bitcoin. And let's look at the momentum here on the 50-minute time frame. I know I'm spending a good amount of time here on Bitcoin, but it is, you know, one of the most important cryptocurrencies, if not the important cryptocurrency to be paying attention to. And on the 50-minute time frame, selling pressure dying down, but then it's starting to increase again. So I don't know. Maybe you might see lower prices here, but I think if we do see lower prices here, this would be a good time to try to long it, you know, below 69K. Put your stop loss really tight at 68,400 or 68,500, and you might see a long play out. So because we're consolidating here, I get it. You know, the bears are saying time to short, the bulls are saying time to long. Ahmed T25 says the name of the indicator. So this is DeluxeAlgo. It's an indicator here. Let me go into my indicators here. DeluxeAlgo trade, and then DeluxeAlgo trade with the money flow. These are indicators that you have to pay for. Okay, and if you're interested in getting these indicators, you go onto the Meet Damien TikTok. Go over to the link tree here. Click on the link tree. It'll take you to the link tree. You click on you know, the first link here, the DeluxeAlgo trade indicator link, and it will take you over to this website. Where is the website? Yeah, this is the website right there. Okay, it'll take you to the DeluxeAlgo trade website, where you can get this indicator for like $50 a month. Is what they're charging right now. They were charging $200, but you're saving 75% off on the indicator right now. Alright, so there you go. Hopefully that answers your question there. Olivia, thank you for sharing the live. Frank UC says, can you sell gold now? Alright. Well, appreciate coming on to the live stream here. Frank. Don't forget to follow me. Go ahead and click that follow button if you haven't done so already. So that way you can come onto my live streams and ask me again about the price of gold. But we just talked about the price of gold. But let's see, you know, are we getting any indications here to sell gold right now? Gold right now at $5,321. You got a signal here on the 15-minute time frame telling you to long gold. Then you got a 1 hour. Let's see, the 1 hour says we should have long gold last night. I don't see anything here saying that we need to sell gold right now. Yeah, I think gold could continue to go to higher prices here. So, I mean, you gotta pick where you want to sell gold at, right? Because these indicators, they tell you when to long and short, but they don't really tell you where to take profit targets at. I think, you know, we could see gold probably revisit the all-time high at 5,593, and just using regular trend analysis here, trend line analysis, if we continue maintaining this trend and we don't, you know, go sideways or roll off and fall off a cliff here, then the way things are going here with gold, we should see all-time highs on gold around Friday the 13th next week, or next Thursday, March 12th. And that would be a better time to sell your gold if you can, right? At 5,593, almost 5,600 bucks here. And if gold catches more bids, we do have another target here. We got the 1272 saying that we could see $6,000 gold here. Okay, so maybe that'd be a better price target to be selling your gold at. Doty Ben says, "Hey, can you help me? What do you need help with?" Oh, and we got DeluxeAlgo was in the TikTok here. All right. Oh, DeluxeAlgo. Okay, so as of now, DeluxeAlgo is saying that DeluxeAlgo indicator is a one-time payment right now. So you can get this indicator right now for like 50 bucks. And DeluxeAlgo's in the TikTok. He's saying that this is just a one-time payment for now. I thought it was monthly, but DeluxeAlgo, he gave me access to the indicator for free for me to use. Thank you, Deluxe. And yeah, I got the indicator myself for free, but right now, if you guys want to use it, you can pay $50 to get access to it. It's either that, or you can just come onto these live streams and watch me use the indicator. But yeah, if you guys want to use it for yourself on your own time, there you can get that indicator off of the DeluxeAlgo website. Let's see, THQ is the future is what DZ is saying here on YouTube, and then you said THQ has $4 million market cap. Oh my God, that's a pretty low market cap. That is very low. Lorraine says, make sure that I say that it's not financial advice. Yeah, none of this is financial advice, guys. This is a disclaimer out there. None of this is financial advice, but just based on what I see here with the price of gold, I think price of gold is climbing up to higher prices here in the near future. Maybe later on this month, we might see all-time highs for gold. But not financial advice. Anything can change. And we all know, like, you know, something could happen with tariffs. You know, something could happen with, you know, another war somewhere. And it could just throw this all out the window. And it could be beneficial, or it could be, you know, it could be bad for the price of gold. Depending upon what happens tomorrow and the next day and the next day. But just what I'm seeing here on the charts, I think gold does want to go up to higher prices. Alright, we got to take a look at Bonk for DZ. And then I think that's going to be it for this live stream, unless you guys have any other more requests for me to take a look at. And Ilya said TP. TP for what? You got to give me a take profit target for what exactly? Alright, why don't we to hear back from you on that. I'm going to take a look at Bonk here. I believe I have Bonk in my watch list here. Let's see. What I got Bonk? Oh, where is my Bonk at? Bonk currently trading at 609. Looking at the daily time frame here. So Bonk did have long signals and a short signal long, and the last signal was the short Bonk, and it was telling you here to short Bonk the end of January. Had you listened to that, you would have taken advantage of seeing the price go down. Okay, and you could have probably got paid on a short, or you know, if you're just using spot bags here, you could have avoided, you know, this mess down here. You're not getting a long signal yet here on Bonk, okay? So you might have to wait. You might have to wait until you get that signal. We just don't know if Bonk is going to go to lower prices or higher prices yet. It looks like because the last signal is a short, we probably should expect Bonk to either go sideways or down until we get that long signal here. Let's see what the momentum indicators are showing for Bonk here. Is Bonk going to go up to higher prices on the MACD indicator? Buying pressure is here. MACD crossover to the upside around Valentine's Day. But the buying pressure just doesn't seem strong enough. It's not the same buying pressure that you saw back here in January, where Bonk was able to climb up to higher prices. I think the buying pressure that we got right now is just preventing you from going down to lower prices here. And that's it. You're not actually making higher highs here, right? You're still making lower high or lower high. This could end up being another lower high, and then what? I mean, are we making higher lows to like justify going to higher prices? I mean, if you lose this candlewick low here at 552, then I think you're gonna see lower prices here for sure on Bonk. And then the next support would be the candlewick low here on February 6th at 513. So 513 needs a hold, and also 552 needs a hold, or else Bonk is going to roll over and go down to lower prices here. Let's look at the other DeluxeAlgo indicator here, and that would be the money flow indicator. Money flow, you can see all this magenta, right? All this purple area, this magenta purple area. This is bad. That's negative money flow, and it's been negative since September of last year. Yikes. So you just call this one big giant bear market for Bonk right here, and it's still in the negative here. Every now and then you get some green buy dots showing up here. So you know, every now and then the bulls try to put up a little bit of a fight here, but they need to put more of a fight to see higher prices, in my opinion here. Like, you know, last year for Bonk, you did see green money flow. You saw positive money flow. July of last year, you had a lot of money flow in the green here. And what did that do for Bonk? Well, that was when you saw Bonk go up as high as like 3,600, 4,000. You know, back in July, you got the money flow in the green there. You don't have that right now for Bonk. So I think Bonk, Bonk's in trouble. Bonk is in trouble until it's no longer in trouble. Let's look at the moving averages on Bonk. Let's see if there's anything to pay attention to. 21 EMA. It's gonna keep pushing you down until it no longer does. 21 EMA is at 620. We're right at the 21 EMA. We got to get above this 21 EMA and get above this white line. Give some hope to the bulls here. And then I think the next level to look for would be the 50 moving average at 838. So Yeah, maybe you could just try to play bonk going from 600 to 800. And I believe that's like a 33% move up in price, right? Yeah, about 37% upside on bonk. If you could just get right back up to that 50-day moving average. And that's where I would take profit on bonk. I would try to take profit at that 50-day moving average, if you're able to do so. There's no guarantee that you're going to do that. But that is an idea for taking profit. Matty Ghost is in the chat. Matty Ghost says that you only believe in TA, not Moonboy hype. Yeah, don't listen to the Moon Boys. They could get you wrecked. And sometimes you have to pay attention, or like you have to be skeptical of the Moon Boys, because why are they telling you about that asset that they think is gonna moon? Is it because they already bought a bunch of bags and they're hoping that you buy, so that way they can get rid of their spot bags? Gotta watch out for that. Lorraine pinned a comment here. Let's see. Lorraine says definitely could come down more first. Alright. GG says possibly bullish despite the war. Are we still talking about? We're still talking about the price of gold? What is possibly bullish here? Charles the Stubborn Man, follow me here on TikTok. Thank you for doing that, Charles. Welcome to the Meet Damien community here. Alright. And Lorraine, what is this comment that you pinned here? I'm trying to see if I can find the comment here. Thank you, Nicole Bubbly, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Matty Ghost says, power has been interesting. You just shorted it. Closed now, but it's pumping hard again. Alright, we'll take a look at power real quick here. Power currently trading at $1.84, up 5.7% today. And look at that DeluxeAlgo just telling you could have long power Wednesday, February 18th. Had you did that, oh my god, you would have been so happy with yourself for listening to that signal there. Okay. Yeah. I've already done some previous analysis on this. It looks like we already hit some Fibonacci targets here. We definitely hit that 1618 at $1.75. And the next target after that would have been 273. Kind of got close to that today. We almost hit we got up as high as 265 today. So, yeah, 273 could still be an area to pay attention to here on power. Medigo said you swung VVV and you sold it for 833. Yeah, we looked at VVV earlier. There's a possibility that it could possibly go higher. If you look at the live stream towards the beginning, I think that was one of the first requests. I think we looked at Bitcoin, and then we looked at XRP, and then we did VVV, and then we looked at XDC, and then yeah, and then gold, and I think THQ after that. Lorraine says, "Is Bitcoin moving? Moving up or down? Let's see. We'll put this on the corner of our eyes here. Bitcoin at 69,400. That's at the same price that it was at, like I believe an hour ago. Well, let me finish up my analysis here on power. Does power have the momentum to go to higher prices here? Let's look at the momentum indicators. Look at the MACD first. MACD showing that buying pressure is here for sure, but buying pressure is starting to die down a little bit. Not as strong as it was a couple of days ago. But as the buying pressure is dying down, this price is still continue climbing up to higher prices. Let's keep that in mind. You have not seen selling pressure since the middle of January and the end of January. And then let's see, the other momentum indicator that I like to use is this DeluxeAlgo money flow indicator. And money flow is in the green. Money is going into power. It's been going into it since middle of February. February 9th here is when we turn green on the money flow. And let's see. Got a green buy dot here on February 18th, but something to be cautious about is we did get a red sell dot, or purple, magenta, red sell dot here this Saturday. Where were we on Saturday here? We got as high as 226. So even though you got the sell dot, we still went to higher prices here. I think it's very important to pay attention to this other signal here, this DeluxeAlgo signal. Like once you see the short come in, that's when you probably should take profit on your power protocol. If you're long in power protocol, if you see a short signal come in, I would pay attention to that and try to take profit on the long, and maybe entertain the idea of entering a short. But I would not try to short this thing right now. I think this thing does want to go to higher prices here. And maybe we do hit that 2618 at 273. We came close to it today. Maybe we actually do that tomorrow or later on this week. So I'm still going to keep this Fibonacci. I think this is still useful here. And we'll just have to revisit this. We'll have to look at power one more time here. Maybe later on this week, see if it actually hits 273 here. Alright, let's see. Time lost today says IBRX. And then HIMS. Is that a stock? You said it's up 13% today? Oren says KLTR stock. Man, you guys are trying to keep me busy today. I thought I was going to end the live stream. Yeah, well, we usually do 2-hour live streams, but if you guys didn't keep me busy, I was ready to, I was going to take a nap. Actually, I'm a little bit tired today. Alright, let's take a look at HIMS. And we'll take a look at KLTR. HIMS and Hers Health. Okay, on the New York Stock Exchange. We got the daily timer. Oh my god, this thing has definitely taken a beating. Oh my god. Oh, this is looking like an altcoin in cryptocurrency world here. Look at that. Let's see. So we've been bearish on this thing probably since October of last year. This thing did tell you to go long in November, but then immediately short in December here. And you do not have anything here telling you to long, at least not yet. There is no long signal here. Are we getting any bullish divergence showing that we could possibly start dollar cost averaging into this? Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. I want to look at the RSI here. RSI, oh, RSI looks pretty brutal. I don't think I would. I mean, the only way to play this is that this is an oversold dip. Maybe there's some higher lows here being formed on the RSI. I don't know. Do we want to call this potential bullish divergence here with higher lows on the RSI after you just made lower lows here on price? You know, you got the lower lows and the higher lows here. That could be bullish divergence. Maybe that's why someone decided to buy this thing hand over fist and this thing got shot up like 13% today. I would maybe entertain the idea of if you don't have any position in this, maybe you could try to, buy a little bit of this. We'll see if this sustains this. Are we going to get any follow through where we get another green day tomorrow? If we do get another green day tomorrow, we could get rejected off this 21 MA, this white line here, sitting at $18.68. I think $18.68 is going to be tough for you to get past. We could get rejected off of that initially before we, try to go up to higher prices. So we shall see. But yeah, if you want to start buying this now, I would maybe put like a third or 20% of what you were planning on buying in right now and see what it does tomorrow and later on this week. Do we come down? Because if we come down, you can obviously buy at lower prices. That'd be better, right? But if you're anxious to get into this now, and we do push up to higher prices, You can take a little bit of profit at $18.60. Or maybe you could wait for this thing to come up to $18 and then come back down to like 16, 15, or 14 bucks and buy back in again. But yeah, I don't know. This the trend has been down and to the right for a majority of about like the last 6 months here. And I think it's very risky to try to long it right now, because you could go down to lower prices here. But if you want to start dollar cost averaging in, there's potential that this could be turning into bullish divergence here. Let's see what the momentum indicator is doing here on the money flow. Money flow is still in the negative. You did get a green buy dot here on February 11th. It's almost like a month ago. But I don't see anything here that screams like, oh, we got to get into this right now. I want to see money flow curve up. And, yeah. I mean, the momentum is curving up, but I want to see money flow curve up a little bit more here. MACD indicator, which is another momentum indicator. You get a MACD crossover to the upside, so you got the beginning of something good starting here with him. So if you want to like start dollar cost averaging, you have my blessing. Not financial advice, but you can try to, like I said, maybe I would, if someone told me, Damien, let's put our money into HIMS, and I want the money in by the end of this year, I would probably dollar cost average and put maybe like 20% of my money, whatever I was planning on putting into it. I would put 20% in now, and then what I would do is I would wait, see what happens next tomorrow or later on this week. Do we come up to the 21 EMA, get rejected, and come back down? Maybe make a double bottom here. I would try to buy more below 16 bucks. Okay. So then, 20% now, maybe 20% here. And then do we come back up and try to climb out of this, potential double bottom? I don't know. We're gonna have to like see, we're gonna have to pay attention to what comes next over the next few days, next few weeks. Or do we do something like this, where we actually climb up? You put 20% now, we get above the 21 EMA, we punch past the 21 EMA, but then we come back down and test the 21 EMA at like $18 here, $19. And then do we do something like this, where we climb back up and make a higher low? If we do something like that, then you could buy another 20% of hims and hers here. And you put your stop loss right below the higher low here. That's an idea. But you gotta see, over the next few days, next few weeks, what are we doing? Are we gonna do something like this, where we make higher lows, higher highs? Or are we gonna get rejected, come down here, make a double bottom, and then go up? We just don't know yet. We just don't know. Sam Shupra says, Palantir. Oh, Time Loss today says that there was a lawsuit that was affecting the stock. Okay, that makes sense. Time Loss today, you want to know, should we short VSTS? And then Oren says KLTR stock. Alright, let me just look at VSTS real quick here. And I'm just going to see if there's any long or short signals. And if there is, then you'll know. If not, then there isn't. And I'm just going to move on to KLTR. Alright, so we got to look at VSTS. Vetis Corporation. You got your short signal, looks like here on... Oh, wait, I got it. I messed that up. But, yeah, you got a short signal here that came in on Tuesday, February 17th. So, there you go. Hopefully that answers your question there. Let's see. What was the question? It was like, short VSTS. That's what it's saying. It's saying short VSTS, okay? And let me see if I can add anything else to that. The MACD indicator was the MACD indicator showing that selling pressure is here. You got a MACD crossover to the downside. But selling pressure looks like it's starting to die down here. It's not increasing, so be careful with that. It might be a little bit too late to short. You had your chance to short it last week. I think now you gotta be careful, because you are getting a little bit of support off the 21 in May right now. You came down, tested that white line there last Tuesday, last Wednesday, and now you're kind of climbing up here. So be careful. Your time to short was about 2 weeks ago, February 17th here. All right, moving on from there, we gotta look at KLTR. Kaltura, and this is for Oren. Hopefully you're still in the chat here. Don't forget to smash that like button. We got 9,700 likes, guys, here. Let's see if we can get up to like 10,000. We only need like 300 more likes here on TikTok to get up to 10,000. All right, KLTR. Currently trading at $1.41, up 1.4%. And I mean, we got long, short signals here. I'm just trying to see what this thing has done in the past. Okay. So obviously it's had better days in the beginning of last year, February of 2025. You did get a long signal here recently, telling you the long Friday of February 27th. If we continue being bullish here, we got to make it past these moving averages above us. This 50 and the 100 is sitting at $1.54, $1.56, and then if we get past that level, then we got the 200 moving average at $1.68. If we get to $1.68, be careful, because you might get rejected like you did here on December 10th here. Getting above the 200-day moving average has been a problem for this stock here. So I think $1.68 is your take profit target to de-risk, or possibly, you know, enter a short. How do you short a stock? You could probably do put options, right? You could probably take some put options, short-term, you know, weekly or monthly put options, and try to short it at that 200-day moving average. Right now, it's telling you to long, so you could try to buy right now. And if you were a risky trader, you could probably do call options to try and buy it at this price and maybe sell it at a higher price when it gets up to like $1.50, $1.60 here. Do you got the momentum? What is the momentum indicator showing? What is the MACD indicator showing? You got a MACD crossover to the upside. I like seeing that. I would actually entertain the idea of trying to long or maybe get a call option on this stock here. You don't know if it's going to be short-lived. Like we did only had like last time we had a MACD crossover to the upside. We only lasted like, you know, a few good days here in the end of January before you got selling pressure again. But this is the beginning of something good here. I think you're gonna have a good week here for KLTR. And what is money flow looking like here? Money flow, green buy dot last Thursday. Money flow is still in the negative, but you can see we got the money flow curving up. I like that. I want to see that, because if you continue curving up and continue increasing on the money flow, you're gonna see green on your money flow, like you did back here in January, going into February here. So there could be some more upside price action here for KLTR, and I think upside targets is going to be your moving averages here. You can use that, the 100 and the 50, and then you got the 200 as another target here. Downside, if there is going to be any downside, I mean, there's a possibility that you could get rejected off the 21 in May, this white line, and come right back down to where you started here on February 24th. You got as low as like $1.22. Maybe you come back and revisit $1.22, but you know, the momentum indicators are showing that we should be going up, not down. So I think you can plan on it going up to higher prices here, unless something changes, unless we get some bad news tomorrow about, you know, a market, maybe not a company specific news, or there could be company specific news, but if we get you know, bad news that affects the overall market, you know, this thing could come down because of that, right? And maybe we revisit $1.22 here. Lorraine, yes, I am using a different money flow indicator here. I'm using a money flow indicator by DeluxeAlgo. You can get that indicator off the DeluxeAlgo website here. And DeluxeAlgo is charging right now for one-time fee of $50 to get that indicator. And you get two indicators, right? It's not just that money flow. You'll get the other indicator that shows you when to go long and when to short. Kind of helps, you know, with your decision-making process as to, like, are you going to enter a long or a short? And, you know, once you go onto the website and actually use, you know, DeluxeAlgo there, you'll get access to the indicators here. I got the DeluxeAlgo trade indicator here, and the DeluxeAlgo money flow indicator. And if you want to get started on that, Lorraine, you just got to go to the TikTok, go to Linktree, click on the Linktree. It will take you to the Meet Damien Linktree, and then there's that link right there for DeluxeAlgo, and it takes you to the site here where you can get started on that. All right, thank you guys. You pushed me guys up to 10,200 likes here, and then time loss. I'm sorry, no, we had Sam Shupra was asking about Palantir. I actually own a little bit of Palantir. I think Palantir had a good day last time I checked, right? Let's see what Palantir is doing right now. Where's my Palantir stock? I guess I could just type in Palantir, right? Oh, there you are. There you're hiding right there. Okay, Palantir. Currently trading at $145.17, up 5.8% today. That's a pretty decent day. It did get higher than that. It got up to like 147 bucks. So, all right, let's see. What can we see here with Palantir? Palantir, you lost the 200-day moving average. What the hell? Losing the 200-day moving average is not good. It's the beginning of going into a bear market, in my opinion here. Palantir did see the highest price here at 207 bucks. I think that was like last year, or yeah, was that November? Yeah, November of last year. You are actually in a bear market on Palantir. Why? You're gonna ask me why, Dame? Why is Palantir in a bear market? Well, in the stock market world, anytime you're below 20% from the all-time high, or at least the high for the year, you are considered in a bear market. And Palantir got as high as 207 last year. I believe that was the all-time high as well. And you're down 30%, so Palantir is in a bear market. Anything more than 20% is not considered a correction, it's considered a bear market at that point. I think in stock market world, they consider 10% or less is a correction. 20% or more is a bear market. But then also being below the 200-day moving average is also another reason why I would call it a bear market for Palantir. So you are in a bear market. So the only way I would get more bullish on Palantir is if we get above that 200-day moving average sitting at 161 bucks. If we get up to that level, I would expect initially a rejection. But maybe if the rejection is not too hard, you can make a higher low and you go up to higher prices and get above that 200-day moving average in a more convincing fashion, then you can be more bullish on Palantir. But yeah, Palantir did a little oopsie towards the end of January when it lost that 200-day moving average. And then you kind of back tested it here. And this was the nail in the coffin. Boom, you lost it again. But it looks like we're kind of put up a little bit of a fight here on Palantir. Could we get back up that 200-day moving average? That would be nice, right? Those are your upside. Your upside target right now is just get up to that 200-day moving average, $161, and I'm expecting some resistance at that area. Now let's see. What other levels can we look for using the VRVP indicator? Using that VRVP indicator here, high volume nodes. You do got high volume node here at 157 bucks, and also near $154. Between 154 and 157 could be tough for Palantir to get above. But once you do that, there's not that much resistance. You could get past that 200-day moving average and come up to 171 bucks. And then you got more resistance at the point of control here. The highest volume node sitting at $179. So I think, you know, targets the upside for Palantir. 154 to 157. Then you got 170. And then you got 179. Take profit target 1, 2, take profit target 3. And that's why I'd be looking for upside targets on Palantir. Now, does Palantir have the juice and momentum to go up to higher prices here? Let's look at the momentum indicators, as we normally do, to try to figure out what the trend might be. MACD crossover to the upside, that's good to see. When you do that, you start seeing buying pressure showing up, and it has. It started showing up here February 20th. And the buying pressure candles, they look pretty relatively strong. You're not seeing buying pressure dying down yet. It's getting stronger and stronger as the day goes by. So, yeah, maybe Palantir does want to go up to higher prices and get up to like 160 bucks here. And then let's see. We got money flow. What is money flow doing here? Money flow has been in the negative since the middle of January. Got really bad here towards the middle of February. But money flow curving back up, and you got a green buy dot that showed up here on February 25th. I mean, as long as money keeps pouring into Palantir, you will see higher prices, that's for sure. But I want to see a money flow flip to the upside. I want to see money go back into the green here. Money flow go back into the green. That hasn't happened yet, but this is the beginning of something good. And then, of course, the MACD indicator was looking pretty good, too. Or starting to look good. So, alright, we'll see. We'll see what Palantir does here. Are we going to go up to $161 here? Or is Palantir going to go down to lower prices here? If Palantir does go down to lower prices, I had marked down 83 bucks as a downside target here. This is a target where, you know, just looking left, right? We just look left. Previous price history, you can see we have candlewick highs here in January 2025 and December 2024 at $83. I believe this is a high volume node here. If I go back to that VRVP indicator and I turn that bad boy back on again, yeah, there's a high volume node here at 83 bucks. So I think that's the target to the downside. If Palantir continues to be bearish, that's gonna suck. Ugh. I might have to sell some more Palantir stock if we can't stay above basically what we did already. You know, if we can't stay above 127 bucks here, I might have to sell Palantir. Alright guys, I think we had a pretty good live stream here. I'm gonna go ahead and actually take a nap and gather up my energy here. Yeah, I had a pretty good day trading oil. I mean, you guys probably seen it in my Discord, but if you go to the Meek Damon Discord, which is free to join, I did put up my results here for my oil trades. I had like over 13 contracts of oil. And alright, yeah, I bought some more oil last night. But yeah, at one point, you know, I was up $1,100 on my oil contracts. That was pretty cool. But what did I end up with? Oil did come down this morning, and I saw a MACD crossover on the 1 hour time frame, and I decided to get out. Like I said this here to my chat group here, I said 1 hour MACD crossover to the downside, selling pressure coming in. Prompted me to sell my oil contracts at $71.39. The highest price we got last night was $73. I think it's the best price I can get. And after selling that, I was able to finish the day up 897 bucks on my oil futures. So thank you to me for doing that. That was a pretty good day. I had to wait a few weeks. I was buying those oil contracts over the last couple of weeks here, so it wasn't like I just got in yesterday or Friday and made a crap ton of money. But you know, I probably could have still made a crap ton of money buying on Friday with what happened here in the Middle East and in Iran. So I took advantage of that, and I made some money on the oil contracts. But I'm not the only trader that does pretty well here in the Meet Damien community. We do have other people that show their gains here, and let's see what the gains are at for some of my traders here that are following me here on the Meet Damien community. We got Tony Starks was up 93% trading gold with a 50x long. Congratulations. We got Nasir trading Ethereum up 10x, up 63% on a 10x long on Ethereum. Congratulations, Nasir, for doing that. Tony Starks traded VVV with a 15x long, up 86%. And then let's see, we got other traders besides Tony and Nasir. Cameron likes to come in, and he took a short on XRP and was up 235%. So yeah, we got some traders that are making some gains here and doing pretty well. And I know how hard it is to get into a trade, stay in a trade, and not get stopped out. So if you're able to make these gains here, by all means, show what you did on your show your gains here on the Meet Damien channel. But usually, like, we stick to the chat here. In the general chat, we talk about all kinds of things, stocks, crypto, and commodities here. I'm trying to figure out what the next best trade is to get into on the Meet Damien community here. And we also post up trade setups here where you can figure out, you know, what's a good trade to get into. And Cameron over here put up a trade that he likes with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP for longing, and he gave his stop losses there. And of course, he says risk management, only use 1% of your portfolio to stay in the trade. Okay. But yeah, we got other guys. Obviously, they're showing their gains here on the trade setups here. But this is usually where we figure out, you know, what is your take profit target, where's your stop loss, and where you're trying to get enter in at. And this is where we do the trade setups here for the Meet Damien community here. And if you guys want to join the Meet Damien community and talk to me when I'm not live streaming, then, you know, for the TikTok guys, you go over here, click on that Linktree link right there on the bio to my page here, and it will take you to the Meet Damien Linktree, and you click on that link right there where it says Meet Damien Discord server free to join, and that's how you get started. For my YouTube guys, you know, you could also go on YouTube here. The description to my channel should have that Linktree link right there. And also, you should also be able to see that Linktree link in the description to the YouTube video that you're watching right now. And then, of course, I even put in the actual link here for Discord right there. It's in the description to my YouTube channel here. Okay. But yeah, guys, if you want to go ahead and don't forget to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I go live. I appreciate that. You'll know when I go live, and you come join the 600 subscribers here on the Meet Damien community here. And then for my TikTok guys, don't forget to follow me if you haven't done so already. And you can come join the 6,000 followers here that I got on TikTok. Let's see if we can get up to like 7,000 by the end of this month. That'd be pretty nice if I can do that. All right, guys, that's it for this live stream. I will see you guys tomorrow, probably same time if I can. 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time is when I usually go live. Okay, I wish you guys the best of luck in whatever trades you get into. And once again, disclaimer, not financial advice. But I think Bitcoin does want to go up to higher prices tonight. Let's see. We got 69,300. I think we could creep up to higher prices here, but we shall see. We shall see. Let me just look at the 15-minute time frame here real quick here. I didn't even finish off on Bitcoin, but 15-minute time frame. Still flagging out here on Bitcoin, and you still got a long signal here saying that we should be going up to higher prices on Bitcoin. Selling pressure was dying down, but I don't know, it's not dying off completely. So I think that's why Bitcoin's still hanging out near 69,300. If I was to try to long Bitcoin right now, I would wait till 69K and then put the stop loss right below the lows that we got here on this bull flag at 68,500. That's where I would try to take a stop loss at for Bitcoin. And my take profit, if I was going to long Bitcoin, I was trying to take it up to like 72K if I can here. So that's the trade that I got for Bitcoin for you guys if you want to long Bitcoin. But we shall see. We got to pay attention to the charts. It might make sense to actually short Bitcoin if we go up to like 70K again. You might want to entertain the idea of entering a short. And you put your stop loss, you know, relatively tight. And if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. It probably means the Bitcoin wants to go to higher prices. That's alright. If it does that, you know, it's okay to be wrong. You just don't want to be wrong, you know, too often. And also, you don't want to be wrong, like, completely wrong and lose a lot of money. That's why we keep our stop losses relatively tight as much as we can. I usually keep my stop loss about like $500 to like $1,000 away from the current price action in Bitcoin. Alright guys, I will see you tomorrow. Take care, and we'll have to continue the chat on the Discord, but I am going to take a nap over the next couple hours, so you might see me in Discord like 2 to 3 hours from now. Alright guys, take care. I'll see you tomorrow.